My next guest. Oh, I just adore this person. And I want you to, he even like this. I want team, play this, play this.
We have some huge breaking news right now. We have some big news right now. We have some terrible breaking news coming. We have some really big news tonight. And we have another terrible breaking news up. We have some scary news. We have some big news right now, but we have a devastating update regarding.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you something. When he speaks, I listen. Let's bring on none other than the great Aaron Parnas. Aaron?
Hey,
Hi.
how are
Oh my God.
you?
How are you?
Tired. Good.
The baby.
Baby, got a screaming baby upstairs right now. So yeah,
Well, I can't
tired.
hear the look, let me tell you something. So you've got one that's screaming upstairs. I can't hear. I've got about three kids and two dogs above me. I had to tell them to quiet. I'm doing the show.
I love
So
it.
be prepared. Yes, that's what you got to look forward to. Congratulations on the baby. The baby is a month old, correct?
Yes, 2 months old today,
Two
actually.
months old today. Okay, 2 months old. So yes, and I'm just happy for you. You report with the baby and all of that.
Well, I'm
But in
so
the midst.
excited for this. This is my highlight of my day, April.
Oh my God, yes, because we saw each it was so funny. We saw each other Tuesday. We just opened our arms and hugged. I was like, I can't wait. He's like, I can't wait either.
It was so funny. I walked out of, I was interviewing Governor Newsom, and April was up next, and all of the legacy media were standing out there waiting to try
They
to get
were
their
they
chance, and
were
they just looked.
angry. They were angry. They're like, what are they doing? Ha ha. They were like, you've got an interview? I'm like, why not? And that's what people are talking about. The legacy media is not doing what you and I are doing.
True.
So what is the biggest takeaway for you in this moment with everything that you're reporting on? Because I marvel at your sources. I marvel at the time you have. You're like pumping it out like that. Tell me, give us all the details.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of craziness happening right now. Obviously, you saw the Republican revolt in the United States Senate today. Congress has been sent home because they can't pass a reconciliation package on ICE or CBP, let alone the weaponization fund and the ballroom and all that stuff. But to me, the stories that really matter more are kind of the ones that impact so many more people. So, for example, there was a hearing today on Capitol Hill, and Congresswoman AOC pulled out a jar of water, and the water was brown. And it was a jar of water from a county in Georgia where Meta just built a new data center. And those around the
Mm,
data center are now drinking water that is literally brown. Like you think Flint, Michigan style water. I mean, it is bad.
yeah,
And then, so that's a story that I'm covering today. There was a major deposition or interview in the Epstein case with Sarah Kellen, the former assistant of Jeffrey Epstein, who allegedly dropped three names who participated in the abuse. So we'll see. But that one is a very difficult one because there are allegations that she participated in the abuse, but was also abused by Epstein. So that was a very difficult testimony. And yeah, I mean, Iran, obviously, but I think that like in this kind of 24/7 news cycle, and I try to do this a lot, like we have to take a step back and realize there's so many stories that are just kind of like we're reporting on them today, and then tomorrow they gotta get thrown to the wayside, right?
yeah,
And I think a big one in all of this is USAID, and we're seeing it come back today. So you know the USAID cuts, devastating,
yeah.
horrific, but now we have a massive Ebola outbreak in East Africa, and because of USAID cuts, doctors that I've spoken to in the Democratic Republic of Congo can't
Yeah.
get resources to fight the Ebola outbreak. And so it's spreading even faster. So,
And that's the piece. And that's the piece. People didn't understand the critical mission of USAID. And Trump just thought they were just people going on vacation, doing whatever they want. They were actually there on the ground to help and to stave off
yeah.
situations and bring it back to the United States. Aaron, and my team and I were talking prior to, and I said he's got to have sources around the world because, like you said, I was talking to doctors in the Congo. How do you do it? I mean, did you know these people prior to what? I'm
No,
not trying to get your
no, it's actually crazy. I mean, like I started making videos about the Ebola outbreak when it first happened because I thought, listen, like, yeah, it's not happening in America, but people are literally dying across the Atlantic, and it's important to highlight what's happening. And since making that first video, I've had dozens and dozens of medical professionals on the ground and also folks who had worked on the 2014 outbreak reach out to me and say, hey, let me give you my expertise. Let me tell you what's actually happening. I mean, instantly. So it's been really great.
That's amazing. And so as we're talking about this, one of the top health officials in this nation has been vilified. I'm not saying anything about who it is, but they said since we cannot rely on the CDC anymore, people are so concerned. There's something called the Vaccine Integrity Project that's following a lot of things, and they're very qualified doctors who give information. So that's something for you to look at
Cool.
too.
Yeah, I will.
I'll tell you off the record who it is
All right.
later
Sounds
on.
good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So with that said, what does your day look like? Because I mean, you're like breaking, breaking, breaking. I got some news, all day long into the
Yeah.
night. You got a wife, you got a baby. What, you don't sleep.
No, nowadays I don't sleep. But I mean, even before I didn't really sleep much. My day starts every morning when I don't have a screening baby, 7 a.m. and I wake up to like 10,000 notifications that I go through. And because if you look at my home setup, I have like 4 or 5 different screens going all at once. One is a ticker of every member of Congress's social media account. So every time someone tweets or posts on Truth Social, I get a notification. Another is C-SPAN running 24/7, so I'm constantly monitoring Capitol Hill. The third, I'm a lawyer by trade, so I have access to Westlaw, Lexis, and Pacer and get
Oh my.
constant notifications whenever a court order is issued or an opinion. And then the fourth is my email inbox, which is flooded every day. And I'm constantly like an evil genius sitting there and just monitoring it all and then just reporting in real time. And I do that from 7 a.m. until I go to bed. And now I don't really go to bed and I wake up throughout the night and I'm constantly monitoring it because when I'm feeding my daughter with a bottle with one hand, I'm like on my phone scrolling like Twitter on the other hand. So that's kind of my day.
So I can imagine your wife after a certain point, here, take her. And you're
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
You multitask. I mean, I
yeah.
literally I type in one hand and I feed her in the other hand and her first words are going to be breaking news at this point.
Oh my, you know what? She's probably gonna follow in your footsteps because this is embedded in her DNA
A
and in her
hundred
milk.
percent.
Yes. So what stories are too close for you to cover since you are a lawyer and since your father had been connected to Donald Trump?
No story. There's no story that I won't touch.
Wow.
And the only stories that I truly don't touch are those that I can't fully verify. And there are a lot of them these days. There's a lot of stories out there. I mean, there was a whole week where I got a bunch of shit for not covering Johnson's Grinder account, and that turned out not to be true. Unfortunately, I mean, there are a lot of stories that like pop up in this kind of media ecosystem that end up not being fully accurate or not being fully vetted, and I bring the same ethics that I brought in a courtroom to the work that I do now, and so I hold myself to a much higher standard, and as a result, I don't cover certain stories like that.
You are and you're one person?
One person.
That's crazy. That is
Yeah, I
that
mean,
is crazy.
high functioning. Don't I mean I just don't stop.
Okay. All right. Because I could dig into that one. But
I mean,
all right.
listen, I need a lot of therapy, and I guess this is like my way of like
It's
coping.
cathartic here.
Yeah, it's cathartic.
Welcome. Look, sip some tea, relax. This is your
Exactly.
moment to decompress.
Exactly.
So Bernadette just said Kennedy just fired 2 docs leading the U.S. Preventative Task Force recommendations. That's crazy. Iris says Aaron is the best. He gives
Oh,
me hope about young people being politically astute and keeping us involved and engaged. Stephen says, I'm glad newsmakers are taking independent media seriously. Talk to me about, I used to work for news organizations
yeah.
and it shifted. The only mainstream news organization that I work for, well, I freelance contract for is MS Now. What do you think about the shift? Because this is your lane. This
Yeah.
is your lane.
I mean, listen, I think that there needs to be, it's like a pendulum, right? It's swinging very far to the new media side right now. It used to be very far on the legacy side. I think it needs to even out somewhere in the center. There needs to be a symbiotic relationship between what I do and what you used to do. The people
Mhm.
inside the press briefing room, for whatever better for worse, they're not giving me access to that press briefing room. And so I need them.
Wait. Say this again.
I don't get access to the press briefing room. I don't have
Why?
a press badge
Why?
because
Why?
the White House Correspondents Association controls who gets in and out.
You know I'm already mad with them.
I I do, and I don't want to. I don't want to start problems, but
Oh, you're not starting problems. Tell it. I
no,
am.
I mean,
Go ahead.
there's a reason why, and this is the one thing that I actually give Caroline Levitt a lot of credit for, is she actually put in a new media seat in that
Yes,
room.
she did.
Now, the people she brings in there are, I mean, god awful, but she brings new media in, and I think that unfortunately, and I'll say this, and Legacy will get very mad at me for saying this, but if you look
Tell
at
the truth and shame the devil. Tell it, Aaron.
if you look at everyone in that first row and you compare who they reach versus who I reach more than they reach.
See, that is no lie, guys. That's so. So the White House Correspondents Association will not let you in,
No.
and you got people from every kind of crazy new media organization. You've got people who I don't even know are really journalists in there,
No,
or
they're
really
not.
even have a newsletter, but yet they won't let you in.
Yeah,
So,
so they and like I can't get a press badge on Capitol Hill if I really wanted it. Like I mean,
oh,
it
I
gets
tried too. Oh, that's yes. I have had a press badge for 30 years. Shame on those people. They were getting smart with my people too. And one lady she was like, "And what's your name?" I said, "April." You don't have a badge. Okay, so okay, it got smart with me. Child, go ahead. They
no, but
mad.
it's a problem, and it's this whole DC insidery bullshit where it's like you like, and I preach a symbiotic relationship because I want to work with legacy media. I want to uplift the work they do. New York Times will exist in perpetuity, but they have to realize that there is kind of this
We
give and
hope.
take. We
We
hope,
hope they
we
will.
hope, we hope, and there's this give and take though. They need me just as much as I need them, and we can work together and really build a good ecosystem. But when you have this siloed approach, no one benefits.
Did you talk to Wei Zhejiang, the president of the White House Correspondents Association?
I've actually never met Ouija. She seems great though. I've never met her.
Anyway, um, Jack says Aaron Parnas
She's
is my
great though.
60. He says my Aaron Parnas is my 60 minutes replacement, and Miss Ryan makes me even more proud to be an MSU alumni. Thank
Oh,
you. Um, to Aaron, Tony says this is exactly why we follow you, Aaron. You don't cover stories that you can't verify. Thank you for that. Sue says, Aaron and April, how many sources do you consult before you're satisfied you verified something? For me, let me tell you, I think I'm like Aaron. I don't, well, and let me say this. I don't actually need the White House. I've never needed the White House. I go there to ask a question for tape. I can get my answers by
same.
calling or going around. Right. I
Yeah,
know you can.
yeah,
We don't, I don't go on the Hill, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
can call the congressional leaders, just like, they didn't call legacy media for us to see Gavin Newsom. You were there because they know our reach and they know who we
yeah.
are. I will text, and that's one of my things. These congressional leaders and their staff, I talk to them. I don't go through PR. I go straight to them. My husband said my Rolodex, and I'm sure yours is too. My husband said if I lose my phone, it's a national security issue.
Yes, it is. It is. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I have people inside the White House calling me. I have people in Capitol Hill calling me. I mean,
This White House?
this White House.
Ooh. Mm.
You have to build relationships everywhere. In the White House, I mean, because people forget that, yes, you have a political administration in these executive branch offices, but there are many people there who have been through multiple administrations and are career employees. I mean, I got a tip from the Pentagon, yes, or earlier this week about a war game they're doing right now, about war gaming out what it would look like if national protests began as a result of unpopular military action abroad. And they're actively playing that out inside the Pentagon today as we speak.
Oh my God. Guys, listen to Aaron. I trust Aaron. This man doesn't play. I gave him a tip and he was like right there. And I said, child, let me tell you, Aaron Parnas is the truth. This is journalism at its finest. You don't have to be in the room where it happens all the time to get the information.
No.
People, when they trust, because a lot of times your sources don't want to leave fingerprints, and it's better that you're not. I'm going to tell you, Aaron, right now, going into that White House is that you might want to go in there to be in there, but it's nothing big. It's
No,
nothing big.
I hear you. And honestly, I have the president's phone number. I could be one of 36
Wait a
people who
minute. What?
No, I mean, I could be one of 30 people who call him and ask him and just report exactly what he says and manipulate the market through me. I could do that,
But
but
don't you call him? Don't you call? Because I know
no,
Rachel calls, Jonathan a lot of people
they
have.
all
I,
call.
yeah, I hear he has several phones, and it depends. Some days he picks up one, or he may pick. It's different phone. How many of the phone numbers do
I
you
have
have?
one. I've never called, and I actually don't even know if it will go through. I'm waiting for like the moment when there's like something big that I could like hold up, Donald. Like what are we doing?
Yeah,
Um,
be careful. Yeah, you have use it sparingly. Yes,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure you are definitely
But
on his radar.
listen, I could call him up. He can yell at me, and then I can apply for the weaponization fund and get some money. So you never know.
Oh my gosh, that's a good idea. Tony says this is exactly why we follow you, Aaron.
Oh,
And then let's go down. Francesco says, Aaron, have no fear. April and the Contrarians are accustomed to good trouble. Sheldy says, April, why is it that Trump can talk to people any kind of way and no one says anything about it? Aaron, you have covered, you and I have both covered. Why do you think it's going back to the White House Correspondents Association again? I put Ouija on blast. It's a news story. I put
mhm.
Ouija on blast. She is the president of the association. The White House Correspondents Association is an advocacy group for the press that covers the White House.
Well, it's one word, access. They lose access if they push back. They know that. The president will stop asking them questions. The president will start calling them fake news. The president will sue them,
Yeah.
right? To access. That's why they're scared.
And that word fake news is the reason why you are here and I'm here. That has torn down CNN and torn down a lot of other organizations. He's trying to sue. Everybody's afraid of a lawsuit.
Yeah. I mean, I got insurance, so sue me. Sue me, Trump.
Don't say that. Don't say
I'm
that.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. Because he might try. So at the end of the day, how this social media independent thing, what do you say to people who follow you and how should because let me tell you that the guy that we played earlier, um, it was kind of funny, but it's actually because people get overwhelmed because people used to tell me, I see breaking news all the time on CNN, but it kind of gets overwhelming. How should people take you and watch you and then watch the independent news and who do you?
Yeah. I okay, so who do I watch? April, obviously. No, but my real answer,
Yeah.
no one. I don't watch anyone. I don't have time to watch anyone. So I actually don't consume anyone's content. And it's a controversial answer, but I don't, and I actually often don't do it because I don't want other people's framing to influence the way
To
I feel.
bleed in. That's right.
So that's
That's
number one. Number two, as far as how you take me online, take me in doses, please. You should not consume all my content. You should not. If you do, you will go crazy. I am numb to all the stories that I publish, and it's really bad that I am numb, but it's the only way I can survive.
mm,
Take breaks. And then also, like, I really think on a day-to-day level, it's important to like take a step back and look at the bigger picture and ask yourself, okay, we're at war with Iran. For the past 2 months, Donald Trump has been threatening to strike Iran, blow it off the face of the earth. He has threatened that about 20 times. Why hasn't he done it? Ask
mm.
yourself that question. We're in DC, right? And someone I was talking to who I really respect and really care about recently told me that DC is like a snorkeling trip on a vacation. You could either be the person that's on the boat or the person that jumps in the water and just like looks around at the fish, or the person that scuba dives, or the person that goes deep down and dives really far down.
I
Very
like
few people in DC actually dive very
deep,
far
deep,
down into the
deep
stories
down.
and really figure out why it's happening. So take a minute and think about really why these things are happening and how it impacts the overall global order, the overall country over the course of a year, 18 months. That's how I would take my stuff.
The deep, deep, and the ones that do the deep dive are the ones that are called fake. The ones
Correct.
he doesn't want to deal with. And I'm gonna ask you this one last question. I'm gonna let you go to go be with the baby. And I'm just so honored that you came. And he said, Aaron hugged me, said, I can't wait for Thursday. You're
We're
gonna
gonna do
come
it. We're
back.
gonna do it again. I mean, this isn't
Yeah,
the
yes, we
yeah.
are. So, Aaron, here's what I want to ask you. In 2016, the late John Robert Lewis and members of the NAACP were saying Donald Trump was a racist. King holiday weekend, I asked the president if he was a racist. He never answered. It took him 3 days. This second term, he said that the civil rights movement hurt white people. He's doing things against the community, black and brown people. Was that the right question to ask the president then? And does it apply today as yes?
Yes, and yes. And I think it exemplifies the fact that America has been and still is a racist country in many respects.
Ooh, child, you broke some news here today. I appreciate you. And
Thank
guys,
you.
we just met and he's my new best friend.
Yes, yes, yes. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff together. It's going to be great.
Yeah, from your mouth to God's ears. We're going to have you back, Aaron. I
Yes,
appreciate you. Tell your wife, thank you for allowing you to come and
I
tell the baby,
will.
give the baby, rock the baby well, and
I
just,
will.
yes, because I've got two, and they will not leave. I rocked them too well. They will not leave. 18 and 24. They will not leave. So
But then when they do leave, you're gonna be crying. So
no, I'm going to go on vacation permanently. So look, Aaron, I appreciate
thank you,
you. Thank
April.
you so much for joining. You broke news, my friend. And you know what? I'm going to call Weesia. I'm going to text
Please,
her. I'm going to say, I am.
please.
I can't, I don't have that kind of pull well, I might have to pull at the hill. I can get something started. But I'm going to ask Weesia. She didn't come out and say anything about Rachel, Rachel Scott, Nora O'Donnell, or a Kayla Gardner when Trump went after them, but she could sit up at that dinner and give the president all sorts of praise. But also, she works for CBS, so that's a whole nother thing
That's
too.
a whole nother can of worms.
That's a whole nother thing. Aaron Parnas, he's coming back. Thank you,
Yes.
my friend. Go
See you
break some more
soon.
news. Thank you. Thank you
Bye.
so much.